In a far inlet, which he has all to himself, lives Bert Clayton, prospector. At 88, Bert stands like a figure out of history. But the old-time picture is a real-time person.
I got on this sailing ship. I went with down on the waterfront, and I contacted the mate, Mr. Daniels. And the sailing ship was the Willie R. Hume. He's on the bank somewhere out of Portland now, I believe. Anyhow, I got on there as a cabin boy. Captain and his wife, Captain Wilson and his wife, were the skipper on the ship. She was a four-masted schooner. And that was when we took cargo of lumber to San Pedro, California. 850,000 feet of lumber. Los Angeles those times, you know, was more or less a place for people to convalescent. You know, the sick cases going down there and getting rested up, you know. And when I run away from sailing ships, I wound up in Kamloops, you know, and I hiked up the road from Kamloops, North Thompson River, up as far as Lewis Creek. From then on, I didn't work for anybody, but I made enough money panning to better than the wages I could get working. Run around with a gold pan and a cayuse to pack my stuff and the other one to ride. In fact, I like to get up early, you know. The earlier I get up, the better. If it's good daylight, I'll get up. And sometimes I don't wake up that soon. But I have got up here at 3 o'clock in the morning because I work, you know, quite a bit during the day, and I'd rest a little bit when it was hot. And then that makes it a better break for me. It doesn't get so hot. But you can get lonely because your mind is forever working on different things. You get different ideas, you see. And religiously, to me, it's a religion in itself.
Living.
Yes. The very thought of living harmoniously amongst the animals in the woods and in the timber and the bush, why, that seems to give me a great sense of satisfaction. My work here, my way of thinking, is to try to produce something. If I'm capable here of producing a prospect that has the hopes of making a mine, okay, I'm doing something for other people that might make jobs for other people, might open up the country, might help things in many ways. I think it's a sort of a feeling that creating something, you see? That you're out here to try and develop something. Anything that I'd be doing that way would be something of trying to make something that other people might get some benefit of. I don't care what I get myself, but if I could create something that would, say, build a small community here, or make something worthwhile, that would create employment, that's one of my big thoughts.
So often in our crowded cities, the old wait out their end in rented rooms or on park benches. Not Bert Clayton.
The first thing is clean up and see the water supply and cut wood, and then get out. Where we got to go now will probably be about 1,200 feet. Well, I'll tell you, I can't climb as fast as I used to. I used to go up that top camp here inside of 3/4 of an hour, right from the beach, up 2,400 feet, 2,500 feet, right from the beach here, in 3/4 of an hour. I've come down to that tram line, it's the foot of the tram line, in 20 minutes. And I can't do that anymore. Oh, my legs are as sound as a bell. But I think breathing is what's bothering me. And I think what caused that is living in the woods and lighting a little fire, and you're breathing a certain amount of smoke. But if I'm packing, now I take my time, my breathing doesn't bother me hardly. I took that drill up last year up the hill, 2,200 feet, and good 56 pounds. So I got up to where I was working, and that didn't bother me. I can go up and down that hill and it don't bother me. But I don't like this bush, especially when it gets soaking wet.
Gone uphill, southeast, 1,200-foot elevation. Back tonight, 4 p.m., Bert. This note, perhaps the one slender clue the world would ever have if Bert were not to come back from his mountain.
Well, as soon as it got anyways dark, why, I'd make a little fire and heat a couple of rocks and put them on my back. I never carried a sleeping bag or a tent. That's out. Too much to pack. You got steel to pack. You got dynamite to pack. You got a little grub to pack. That's enough. But I always used to wear these old dryback pants and coats put out by pioneer people. They were good. And the nighttime I'd put on my big Indian sweater. And I was as warm as a bug in a rug. I never seemed to ever catch a cold. As long as I had a couple of rocks at my back, right about your kidneys. Just make a little bit of a fire and heat the boulders. If the fire went out, worry about it. The rocks was hot, they'd keep you warm all night. Holy crow. She took her apart, boys. I had it one time, I guess, and gold was only $18 an ounce then, you know. I've had as much as $300 or $400, you know, put away, kept, you know, in a poke, that I could pay my way everywhere I went.